Hey, what's up, guys? It's Corey here with Dapper Dollars, and today we're going to talk about the Saturday summary with Merch by Amazon and what I'm designing for this coming week and what's been selling well for me this past week. You ready? Let's get started. So, this channel is all about using the Merch by Amazon and Etsy income opportunities to build our income online and invest this income in things like the stock market and real estate. If that sounds like something you're interested in, like and subscribe, and let's get started. So, last week we talked about the fact that I'm going to mostly be designing for mental health awareness, the Cinco de Mayo, and 4th of July space. Those are really still my priorities, with Cinco de Mayo definitely being number one right now. I've currently got about 6 or 7 designs up that I've thought about, and I really like them. I think anywhere from, Fiesta Squad, Taco Squad, a few teachers themed Cinco de Mayo shirts. And so I'm really confident in these. I've got the ads behind them, and I feel like they're getting the noticeability right now. There's actually not as much search traffic for these things as I thought there would be, especially with the bids on these ad campaigns that I have for them. They aren't as high as they usually are. I mean, I have a few that are targeting the words Cinco de Mayo shirt, which I would think would be a really expensive, cost per click. But it's not really that expensive. I mean, I use the same strategy that I've always talked about, and I'll link that here, the strategies that I use as far as building ad campaigns. And I mean, really, I just set it at $1 per day, 35 cents cost per click. If the ad does really well, I might bump it up a little bit. But all in all, this is working. And it's working a little bit better than normal, because usually with something that's as popular as Cinco de Mayo, even this far out, you usually have a bunch of people who are already competing for those spaces. However, right now we don't seem to have that much competition. I don't know if it's because this is, like I said in my last video, this is my first time going into Cinco de Mayo, so I don't know if it's just a lower competition thing in the teacher space and higher competition for the broader market of Cinco de Mayo. I also said in that last video that I usually just delve in the teacher space, so I combine holidays that are going on with the teacher space, and then that usually makes up the bulk of what I design for. So Cinco de Mayo is still the focus of what I'm going to be designing for, probably until late April, and then I'll just let it go and see what happens, reassess for next year, and then move on. However, there is something that I'm going to be replacing mental health with, and I didn't think about this because it just dawned on me this week whenever I was looking at my sales and which ones were doing really well for me, that there is a trend that seems to happen around this time every year, and that is realtor shirts. Realtor shirts go through a very specific cycle. There is a really low season in December. The season builds constantly until July and then crashes again into December. And that trend has held fast since 2004 and has continued to gain steam. It hasn't just been like a level search term as far as what people are searching in Google, but it has gone up. Of course, around 2008, whenever real estate was crashing and nobody wanted to be a realtor, you weren't exactly getting that many searches on Google. But ever since 2008, 2009, the search trend for realtor has gone up significantly. So this means that people are buying more realtor shirts. And this is so true because I get at least 3 or 4 sales a day that are just realtor shirts. And this is great because, again, this is something that has a peak at one time in the year, but sells constantly year round. And the potential for realtor shirt gifts in Christmas, I mean, come on, you can't pass that opportunity up. So anyway, since the peak is in July of realtor season, I think that the best time to start designing for all this is now, and to continue designing for it throughout the year, just like I would any other awareness design. But the trend that I noticed this week was that realtor shirts are definitely starting to pick up steam. I think they will continue to pick up steam into the future. And so I'm going to be switching out mental health awareness for realtor shirts, at least for the time being. Mental health awareness is, it's honestly emotionally exhausting because you're putting designs out there and doing research into a very emotional topic. and you're looking at people and looking at trends that are focused on people basically at the worst point in their life, and they're in a state of depression and anxiety, and it is hard emotionally to design for that and not feel connected to it at some point. Because if you're doing your own designs, you are very involved in that process. The thought of the colors, the thought of the text, and everything else, you're trying to identify with that person in their mental space whenever they're buying this shirt. So it is a little bit emotionally taxing for me to design for these shirts. And honestly, it's a good break for me because I am a generally positive person. I would like to get away from this and then start designing for realtor shirts again, or designing more realtor shirts, and then maybe come back to mental health again after the July season. So anyway, talking about July, we also talked about July in the last video. Not much has changed there. I haven't started designing for July 4th t-shirts, but that is next up on the schedule. So right now, the order for these shirts goes Cinco de Mayo, realtor shirts, and 4th of July. 4th of July, again, I am going to be combining and basically getting all of the different broader niches across Merch by Amazon. So think the mom niche, any careers, any specifically nurses and teachers, pets, dads, everything like that, and just doing and the sports, of course, because sports are definitely going to be picking up in 4th of July as well. And so I will be putting all of those designs in a 4th of July, an American themed vein, and then putting those out for the 4th of July starting now in mid to late April. It's going to be a great opportunity to get into this season and really have these designs solidified, because again, I talked in my last video that I have a backlog of 2020 4th of July designs that were supposed to go out, but that whole 2020 thing happened. So those are kind of just waiting in the wings to be worked on. So anyway, that is where that is. And yeah, so 4th of July is the next topic for me to get to. And this is where I'm at as far as what I'm designing and what I've been designing and what I'm going to design for this next week. And that's it. So Cinco de Mayo, realtor shirts, and 4th of July. So guys, I really want to encourage you to do these things, to get into the practice of making sure on the weekends and your 5 to 9 time that you have, if you have this time, to do the design work, to put in the effort to create these designs, put t-shirts out there, and build the catalog of designs that you have on Merch by Amazon, because the more designs you have on Merch, the more likely you are to get sales and to build your income so that you can invest in things like the stock market. I know right now for me, my stock market account is not looking good at all, but it's because it's the stock market. It comes and goes, and if history has told us anything, those who buy and hold great companies are the ones who are going to win. My stocks were up, I think, over 100%, and they've gone down a little bit just because, the stock market is rotating out of those higher risk plays like the people who are doing startups and things like that, and these newer companies, and they're going more towards safe plays since the economy is coming back and everything is balancing out. So anyway, yeah, just make sure that you're investing this money, do the work, make sure you can do whatever you can to improve yours and your family's life, whether that's making more on Merch by Amazon or investing, because these are the things that are really going to set you apart. So now let's talk about the things that you can do and be looking for if you are a newer person on Amazon and you are Merch by Amazon and you are needing to fill those slots and get those initial sales so that you can get into the spaces or the higher tiers so that you can start putting more designs on Amazon. Gun control is still the main thing that I would suggest. I've looked around and there's just nothing moving the way that gun control is, gun control shirts. And these are the topics that people are talking about right now. It's a very passionate topic for people on both sides. And so you can cater to both sides of the table, and then you are the beneficiary because you get to identify with both sides and you win no matter who is winning. So anyway, continue to design for gun control if you are a new person on Merch by Amazon and you need to fill those slots and get sales. And I hope to see you next week. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. And remember, someone is going to do something amazing every day, guys. Why not you? See ya.